back, everybody. I'm Catherine Sutherland, and
I am Nakia Burrise. Nice to see you all. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing today, Kat?
I'm good. It's been a busy day today. Oh, let me just turn down my iPad that's just decided to come on. Yes, it's been a great day. I feel like I got a lot accomplished today.
Good.
How about you?
It's been a great day as well. Like, as we know, Ranger Stop and Pop is just around the corner, so we're just doing some finishing touches for that. And that's June 13th through the 15th for those of you that are just joining us. And actually, our next guest is also going to be at Ranger Stop and Pop. We have, oh my gosh, our lineup. We have 65 Rangers, guys. The most that we've ever had at Ranger Stop and Pop. And right now, this is our last year. Thus we sell, then it can continue. But right now, it is our last year of Ranger Stop and Pop. So we are going out with a bang. Bang. But today's guest is Phillip Andrew from Wild Force. And Kat, would you like to introduce Mr. Phillip Andrew?
Yes. Phillip Andrew was the 6th Ranger in Power Rangers Wild Force. He played the Lone Wolf Ranger, Merrick, and he's got lots to share with us. So please welcome Phillip Andrew.
Yay!
Guys, what is happening, everybody? How are you?
Yay! Thank you for joining us. We're so happy to have you with us.
Oh man, ladies, thank you very much for having me. This is awesome. I love it.
Our absolute honor. Gosh, well, let's just dive in.
Right in.
Yeah. So our first question comes from one of our channel members, David Matchin. He said, "How was it coming into an already established cast?"
Okay, so this is awesome. I generally answer this question at the table, signing autographs, pretty much every event, and I don't mind it. I think it's a great story to tell. So, you know, the whole cast was already filming since, I guess, November. I came in late January or something like that, I guess. Now, I had actually auditioned for Time Force the year before.
Oh.
And didn't get it, but they brought me back. And now you guys remember the studio where we shot, right, in Valencia.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was kind of crazy. You go up there and there's like 50, 60 people auditioning. Everybody's up there, and you're just waiting your turn and everything. But it was one of those ones where, and I think it's one of those ones where I hated, where you could hear the people auditioning in the room.
It's so intimidating.
And that's the ones that I always hated right there. I mean, it was good because maybe somewhat you could hear and you can adjust, or it was just kind of one of the ones where you just kind of wanted it private. But I and not to be arrogant, I mean, I had not landed a job in Hollywood yet. I just moved out like a year and a half previously, and maybe not even that. But I heard that and I was just like, oh, not to be arrogant. I'm like, no. I went in there, did it and everything. And of course, we all went through 7 or 8 different, 7, 8, 9 auditions, something like that. It was crazy. It was nuts. We actually went through Christmas hiatus, and then they called my agent back again and said, "Hey, we want to see him again." Agent said, "You've got him on camera. You've seen him 6 or 7 times. Either hire him or F off or whatever." Right? Okay, he's hired. So
wow.
Essentially, that's how it went. And of course, I didn't know anything about Power Rangers. I mean, I was already in high school when it debuted in '93.
Okay.
And so I had heard of it, kids TV show, this, whatever. Okay, all right, cool, yeah, all right, yeah, you get the audition for that. Oh yeah, all right, cool, yeah. And then so finally, hey, you got the gig. I was like, cool. All right, awesome. So go in there, being the 6th guy. Of course, they were already filming. So I remember the first morning I walked in, they were all, and I think they were in Jessica Ray's room. They were all in there watching a movie or something. And I'm just, just really shy coming in there like, hey guys, whatever. Yeah, can we help you? I'm Phillip Andrew, the number 6 Ranger. Oh, we don't know anything about that, man. We think it was supposed to be us five or whatever, dude. You might be in the wrong building or something. I'm like, okay. All right. Dude, we're joking with you, man. Get in here. Welcome. I mean, so it was like with welcome.
Oh.
Aw.
How long had they been filming before you came on?
I want to say about 2.5 months.
Oh, so
and they had to go through 2 recastings. So the original princess was let go. I think the story I heard is that they weren't supposed to go out and get tans and stuff like that. She went to like, Cancun or something and just got, and they're like, we told you not to do that. You're out, gone. See you later.
Gosh.
And then they gave it to Anne Marie because she auditioned originally for the Yellow Ranger. So they called her up. She got that. And then Jack Guzman was not the original Black Ranger. I do not recall what the story was behind that, but I do know that.
I think Jessica told us.
It was amazing. What's that?
I said I think Jessica told us about that when we interviewed her, that Jack was not the original.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you auditioned for Time Force, which character did you audition for?
None. I didn't even audition for the Lunar Wolf. They had us playing different from y'all's seasons or something like that. It was a script from another Ranger. So I had no idea I was auditioning for the Lunar Wolf Ranger until I got the part, brought me in. They took me upstairs and said, hey, this is what you're going to play. This is what we, want to do and everything. And there's a funny story on that as well. So I went in there, but so, Jonathan Zakor and everything, great. He was a super nice dude to me and everything. But my guys were the late Scott Page and his right-hand man, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
They saved me. So basically, Jonathan Zakor, he had this acting lady or whatever that nobody really cared for, because she would come in and try and direct the show. So like when Koichi was directing or something like that, he'd be like, get that lady off my set. I don't want her on my set. I don't want her messing with my actors. Wow. And so when we saw Koichi directing, we're like, yes, we don't have to, whatever. But anyway, Nero, no, go. It is. So I got the wolf pup here. Nero, what are you doing? So, I started going, doing it, but I was having problems because, it wasn't what I envisioned. Like, there weren't master shots. It was just blah, 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 cut, blah, blah. It was Japanese style filming, right? So I had a hard time with that. And so I guess what I was doing, I don't know. So Jonathan came in ADR booth one day with the acting coach, and they're sitting there right there, which was just so nerve-wracking. And he's like, Drew, what you're doing works for a 2-hour movie, but this is a kid's show. You have to be over the top. And I was like, oh, man. I was like, no. It's like, I'm like, here I'm trying to do my Ray Liotta or, all that kind of stuff. So I had a hard time adapting to that style. I mean, even though that was my first gig in Hollywood, but just, I'd seen stuff, master shots, all that kind of stuff. I've seen all that, whatever. So, again, still don't really understand the whole Power Ranger universe thing. Don't really know what it is. So did all that. And about a month and a half later, I get called upstairs to the office. And I'm like, oh, great. Here we go. I'm about to get fired. And like, we have something for you. I'm like, yeah. And it was my action figure with my face on it. Turn it around, features the real actor's face. And I'm sitting there looking at him like, okay, this might be a big deal. And so that's when, I started kind of getting more into it, seeing, kind of acknowledging like previous or whatever and stuff. And then, just as years go by, just like, my gosh, this thing is, wow, we are a part of a universe that is just unbelievable. And now it's just amazing. I mean, I was not on social media I was off the grid. I mean, I was off the grid, and thankfully get with my my manager / agent / business partner Christian and Germani, And they just took me in about a year and a half ago, and bingo, it just started exploding, and now just going to places. Peru last year, we went to Japan out of all things, in December.
Yes, that's right. Allison.
It was a good experience, but I wouldn't travel that far for a one-day show.
It's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah.
That's a lot. Yeah. I mean, that was like almost a 20-hour flight, and
stay there for a while when you were there. How long did you stay in Japan?
Okay. Oh, wow. Awesome. Really cool. So yeah, I did not know that out of all 30 seasons, none of us have been over to Japan. I mean, JDF went over there, but he didn't sign. He went over there to the studio to meet all the guys. I can't believe out of all 30 years, none of us have been over there.
Mm-hmm.
So it was bonkers nuts to know that and then go over there and stuff. But it was amazing. So we were in Okinawa on what was it? Camp Foster was it? But of course they did the whole where they pay up front, whatever this, and then you show up and then you sign on top of that. But it's like, I wish they would have done more of like a 2-day, 3-day or something like that. But
yeah,
it was still a great experience. But what was really cool is when we flew back from Okinawa to Tokyo, we stayed there an extra 4 days, and we went to the Super Sentai Cafe restaurant there in Tokyo. And no, that's amazing right there. I mean, it's on my Instagram and everything. You scroll down and so I went in there, and I guess the main person, manager, whoever was not there that day, but the guy I talked to, I think we figured out you say no America Gao Silver was my character, and he was like, well, whatever, and I was like, all right, hold on 1 second. Went over there and grabbed my print, put it up, and he's like, oh, this is what you mean? I mean, he went crazy nuts, dude. It was like, all right, cool. Well, see, so when you walk in, there's a whole wall, and it's these custom-made plaques of, and it's pretty much all the Japanese actors, whatever, and had their signatures and stuff on it. And he brought that one out to me, and then I signed it, and then I signed a couple of my 8x10s, and he was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And then so that's going up there on that plaque and everything. So it was just amazing. And then when we were at the airport getting ready to fly back, I went over to get something to eat, and I actually had one of my Lunar Wolf helmet that a friend of mine that owns a design T-shirt thing made for me, and they're like, oh yeah, like that. I'm like, oh yeah, that me, huh? Well, no. No America Gao Silver, me. And then they didn't know where was going. Hold on 1 second. Went back over there where Christian was sitting and got my bags and got my 8x10 print. Went over there like, oh, I just signed that there for him, the airport there and everything. It was absolutely, it was awesome. But yeah, it was so super cool to see a lot of that. Which we were trying to get hooked up with my Sentai counterpart, but we couldn't get that done. But it was a great experience. It was a really great experience. I just
so cool.
I just can't believe none of us have been over there. That was crazy.
Yeah, that's
some have traveled, but they haven't. Like Johnny's been there, I believe. There was somebody. I
think Walter, Jason, and Aaron went there, but they didn't do any signing. They were there for work.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. That's what I was understanding right there. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, again, a good experience. But if they were, if they had it to where it's like maybe more of a 3-day event or something, that would have been a lot better. But just that was a lot of traveling, like 21 hours in the air almost. Yeah. And but I have no regrets about that. So
yeah, that's definitely on my list of places to go.
Same here.
Do you have another question from the members, Kia?
But I was going to say, I'm so glad that you were able to extend your time there, as opposed to just stay there for obviously the 1-day con. I'm glad that you were able to travel to other parts. That's great.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like, the way I saw it is like, hey man, we're going over there. Let's make it count.
Yeah.
Another funny thing was walking distance from the hotel in Tokyo was a Denny's. And remember, when drove past it going to the hotel. And so we're like, hey, man, let's go get one of those Graham Slam breakfasts. I mean, I can use that right now. Just, American kind of, Denny's, going there. Nope. It's totally Japanese Denny's. I mean, a complete different menu, no Graham Slam breakfast. And we're just sitting there like, huh? But everything on the outside, everything is just like the same as it looks here. So
that's so cool.
But it was really cool.
Super chats that have come in too, but we had one more question from one of our channel members, Fabio. He said, how did it feel to be added as a sixth ranger but not as a teenager? Because you came in, everybody's supposed to be young, and you're like ancient, right? You're like thousands of years old. How did that
3,000 years old? Yeah.
Did it feel
the dark wolf, man, the dark guy, well, that was really cool. I thought I was blessed was with the character, the Lunar Wolf. Wolf obviously is one of my favorite animals. Just the mystique of it, the dark mystique of a wolf and everything, and it having that storyline and then having the actual outfit, not the spandex. I mean, I don't know about you guys, we only wore that about 3 or 4 times for the green screen. Thank goodness, because I found that just very uncomfortable. But then when they gave me the leather jacket, black leather pants, and the shoes and everything, I was like, dude, this is rad right here. But this is except when we shot in the desert, I did faint and passed out one day. It was so hot. We were out shooting out like past Santa Clarita, Palmdale area or something like that. And but yeah, it was cool, just to have that mystique character, and then also at the end of the show, nobody knows what happened. I mean, I walk off with my alter ego into the sunset. Bingo. And so I mean, we've written a rough draft, been trying to hit out to Boom Studios about picking up where we left off right there, but Boom Studios is a little hard to get a hold of.
Yeah.
But it was great. Just having that character was awesome. It was just kind of the I don't want to have anything to do with you guys. And whatever, leave me alone, let me play pool. All right, the bugs are attacking. All right, fine, I guess I'm gonna come over, help you guys out. Fine, great. Piss off, I'm going back to do my own thing. So it was kind of a cool character to play, so it was awesome.
Good, amazing. Should we go into our super chat question?
Yes, let's do the super chats. I'll start with the first one. This is from one of our channel members, Ben Hamilton. Super chat. Whoop, 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 whoop.
What's up, Ben?
Sup, ladies? You did the second one. He had one before that, Kia. It said, sup, ladies. What is Merrick? What is it? He says, what it is, Merrick. I was like, what is he trying to say? Really looking forward to meeting you in Atlanta next month. Check out my fan art, Wolfpack represent.
All right. Was that Ben?
That was Ben. Yeah. Ben.
Wait, Hamilton. So does he have a vendor booth there, or is he just?
No, he's going to be a guest. He's really excited to meet you, and he sent us some fan art of some pictures he did for you. So we'll send those to you so you can see it. Oh,
that's awesome.
He also says, I got a question you might have heard a lot. During your time as Zenaku, is that how you say it? Zenaku? Zenaku. You nabbed 4 of the animal crystals, elephant, giraffe, and the bear. What was the purpose? Intimidation tactic or to further sustain the curse?
I would go with both. I mean, he's always going to be on top. He wants to be, he wants to be the leader, the alpha. Zenaku is just that he wants to conquer whatever he can get. So I would think that would be his purpose. I mean, he's just trying to take over, Rita, Repulse, just trying to take over anything, whatever. Basically, taking away people's souls is what I thought that kind of was. He was always after, like, he was that what am I trying to think of? When you had you have the angel sitting here and the devil here. It's like, that they're screaming in both of your ears, like which way do I, kind of thing. It's almost like that's kind of the way I saw that right there. Ben.
Yeah,
So,
like a battle of his conscience kind of a thing.
Correct. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Did you enjoy playing a villain? Was that fun for you?
Oh God, yeah. Oh yeah. Villains are more fun to play than heroes, in my
Yes,
opinion.
I agree.
You just come up with something. What can I do to make people hate me so much? And then you come up with that, whatever, and then it works or whatever. But it was so super cool. And a lot of people ask me, hey, did you put on that suit? Was that your voice? I'm like, no, I didn't do either one of them.
Yeah, I read that you had there was a voiceover for the.
Yeah, so Lex Lane, the voiceover actor, he was the one who did Zanaku, and then there were a few scenes that I actually did. One of them was up on top. I want to say Benedict Canyon, Cowart. No, I think it was right off Benedict Canyon, there in Beverly Hills, and we did a night shoot. And so the Japanese stunt actor was the one dressed up in Zanaku, but didn't speak English. So he would feed me the Japanese lines underneath the suit, and I would have to react on his, delivery or whatever and stuff like that. So I mean, that was it was fun. It was challenging, really challenging, but it was fun.
How come you didn't do the voiceover? How come? Why did they not give you that option to do the voiceover?
I have no idea. I don't. I think they wanted to be a different kind of entity or something, I guess, maybe. Like
because actually Brad Hawkins did Brad Hawkins in our season for our Sixth Ranger. He actually voiced the Gold Ranger when the triplets were, and they didn't use that voice either. But I don't remember. Did he do that also for Austin? Kat?
Yeah. Before Austin came on, it was kind of like he was the Gold Ranger before they transferred the powers to Austin. And then once Austin was in it, they had Austin do it.
Okay, so then Austin took over as the after the triplets left. Then Austin took over, and I guess Austin used his voice. But Brad Hawkins was when it was the triplets. He was the voice when it was the triplets.
Yes, yeah, I believe you're right on that. Yeah, I did inquire about that long while back, but I believe you're right on that, Nakia. Yeah.
Okay.
Next question.
Super chat. Super chat.
What's a double?
This is from Regos the Sky Dragon. Hello, Kat Nakia. Phillip, you were an amazing sixth Ranger. 2 questions. Did you take any props from the studio? And if you changed one thing about your character, what would it be?
Oh, wow. Great question. Okay. So yes, that is a very common question we get asked. I don't know if y'all get asked that at your booths. I don't know what it was like there, but they were extremely picky. Why, I have no idea, because you had 3 or 4 extra ones, stunt doubles or just extra backups. Why they wouldn't let us have, I don't know. I was very thankful they let me keep the leather jacket and the leather pants and the shoes. However, there were some that snuck in and grabbed their actual spandex suits, and we'll have them at the table today. I remember talking to Jack Guzman. It's like, dude, back then we're like, dude, if we do this and get caught, we're gonna be blacklisted, man. Like, that, what, that goes back. I think you were asking me. Yeah, because Jack was 3 years older than us. So yes, when everybody else was like casted at 18, 19 or whatever, the youngest we were was 23. One 24, then Jack, I think, was 26 or 27. And then Anne-Marie, I think, was already in her early 30s or something like that. But no, yeah, there was one that, yes, went in there and grabbed the spandex. And so if we knew then what we knew now, we'd have just gone in there and grabbed, whatever's like, all right, cool, we got it right here. But, at least we had that right there. So that's pretty cool. But why they didn't give us more, I have no idea. Do y'all know what y'all's suits went for in the auction?
Well, they didn't have our original suits. They only had our stunt suits. I don't know what happened to our original suits.
Okay.
They went missing somehow.
Go figure, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
but I
assuming
think
they had one of the original ones. I mean, one of mine went for 11 grand. Another one went for
Yeah.
6 or something.
yeah,
I was like,
yeah, it's
good Lord,
amazing.
I should have stolen that thing. Like,
I
man.
know. I know. Oh well.
And then I'm sorry, Nakia, what was the other? It was
If
one thing I could change about my character. Yes. I wasn't too hunky dory on the flute playing. I just didn't go with the character to me. I mean, I know it went with the way it was written with the animals and everything, but I thought it would have always been dope if the Lunar Wolf was playing the saxophone, just going back into the 80s, where the sax was used in everything, just have him play the saxophone, just rocking it out, Lost
Something
Boy
cool.
style, or something like that, but yeah, the flute thing, yeah, that's another thing I would have changed on that one right there. So yeah.
But that kind of played homage to JDF's character because he had the little flute so that's kind of
no, correct. Yeah, because on my Twitch, we're on season 2 right now. Mighty Morphin. We watched all of Wild Force, and then we went back and watched the first season. Now we're on second season, but I did notice it because I'd never. Sadly, I mean, a lot of people ask us, if not your season, which one? Guys, I was hired for a job. I really haven't seen anything else.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it. And so, instead of trying to BS your way through it, you just go, hey, guys, sorry to spoil it for you. This is how it is. So now with Twitch, not only I get to go back and watch, but I got to do it almost the same platform as this with fans. And then just, sit there, analyze everything. Oh, man, this is cool. This is great. Oh, 90s. I remember this in the 90s. I remember all this, whatever. And so it's really cool. But, yeah. So yeah, it would have been the saxophone instead of the flute. Yes.
Good choice. All right.
Thank you.
Super chat, raise them up high.
I think he answered this one already. That it was Lex that played the voice. Yeah.
Yeah, Lex Lane. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I've seen him. I saw him in Houston in I think February or something, and I saw him in Vegas at a show at the end of March or whatever. But nice guy. Yeah, really, really super cool dude.
Yeah, he's really nice.
Yeah.
And this is from Andrew Otterman. Thank you. He said Power Rangers for life. I love it.
Nice, Andrew.
We had some other questions just that we wanted to ask you, just a little bit about you. Oh, wait, we have some more that have just come in. Oh, we've had quite a bit that have just come in, Mr. Andrew.
Nice.
Sparks.
Let's go to Sparks.
Hey, Kat, Nakia, and Phillip. My question is, what is your favorite episode to film from Wild Force?
Oh boy, that's the last episode. One of the last episodes, the end of the Power Rangers Part 2, and reasoning for that was we knew it was coming. It was almost the end of the season, so everybody, all the great crew that everybody got along with, we all knew it was coming to an end. So we were shooting downtown LA. It was a night shoot, and it was a rain shoot. So we all know what LA feels like at night, especially with rain there. So we were just, all the rain machines, we were all just like that, and then here we are, 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, whatever it was. But we shot it right there at the, oh gosh, they tore it down not too long afterwards, where RFK was assassinated. The hotel,
in Los Angeles.
I'll get it here. They're in the downtown Los Angeles. Yeah, Robert F. Kennedy Robert F. Kennedy was shot there in the kitchen of the hotel. The oh my gosh, it's on the tip of my tongue right now.
I'll look it up.
The Ambassador Hotel. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the Ambassador Hotel, and they tore it down not too long after, but. It was almost like The Shining too, because it was not a working hotel, but we went in there and we would kind of go up in the hallways, kind of, not too far up or whatever. And it was really, really eerie. but we did go in the kitchen and we were standing right there where everything happened. And so it was a part of history too, which was really cool. But the fact that we're all like, this is almost the end of it, guys. We're hanging in there, but we're all just sitting there. So that was a really good memory. Always the ones when we shot in Malibu. I think we all shot the same place. I mean, where they shot what was it? I mean, Baywatch has been there. The Rocks, that same place. We've all shot there, yeah. And that was always fun to shoot there. I remember we got off and we went to some kind of in a cove kind of area, like out of the way kind of high-end restaurant. And here we are, early 20s and stuff. And we're all like $150 plates of lobster. And we're all just sitting there with this. And we have all these older people looking over. It's like, what are you doing? And stuff like that. So that was a good memory right there. But lots of good memories. The Time Force crossover was amazing. Getting to meet everyone there, hearing their experiences the year before, their tips for us. And that was great too. But just, it's, I mean, the whole process was amazing. I don't know if it would have been different for me if I would have known everything about Power Rangers and then I got that gig, how I would have done, or would it have been, just whatever I already did without knowing it, and then later on figuring it out. That's kind of what I've always asked myself. What if I was already a huge fan and I got it? What would it have, my character, like, how would have I delivered my character differently or whatever? But yeah, So yeah.
Whatever you did worked.
So,
yeah. Well, thank you very much, Kat. Thank you.
You guys signed your contract for the show. You guys knew that you were only doing one season.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we found out like a couple months later, Disney bought it from Saban. Everybody upstairs, they all knew they were about to be fired, or they were going to be looking for new jobs. Us, we already, were there 1 year. And sadly, we didn't get to do a crossover with Ninja Storm because, non-union, moved it there. No, wait, now when y'all shot, was it still non-union, or did it get union when y'all shot?
Non-union.
Well, before you, so we were non-union, and then when we were meeting is when SAG came in and made it union, and then
was when
we left the show is when SAG came in and made union.
Man, I've heard horror stories, ladies. I've heard horror stories about the work hours, the pay, all that stuff. I mean, I just remember. I mean, we got paid scale on SAG, but for me as a 23-year-old kid, it was more than I'd ever made.
Right.
So I was balling. It was great when they did the Forever Red episode. I wasn't written in that episode, so I had 2 weeks paid off. So
that was nice.
Like, all right, cool. It's in my contract, but I got 2 weeks off. All right, fine. I'll just go on vacation or something like that, or just hang out on the couch, watch TV or whatever. But it would have been cool though to have met a lot of other Rangers from seasons prior, especially JDF and everything like that. That would have been awesome. But,
yeah, it's an iconic episode, that one. Well, you kind of answered the next question. Actually, you answered because this is from Alexander Super Chat.
Alexander,
he
what's
said,
up, man?
Phillip, were there ever talks of having you and your cast work with the Ninja Storm cast? And what was that was the first season that filmed in New Zealand? That you said they never did that. So
because you
we
were non-union, right?
We didn't have anything to do with Ninja Storm. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do know. Oh, go. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say we have another question from Ryan Van Story.
Ryan, what's up?
For all three, this is for all of us. What are some favorite moments from projects outside of Power Rangers?
You go first, Phillip.
Mine was cool. I again, I left the industry back in 06. I think it was 06, but literally 3 months after Power Rangers, I got casted as a leading role in a It's like a horror / comedy movie. Like one of the ones where back in the day went straight to the Blockbuster shows.
Yeah.
I love saying that. Blockbuster shelves.
Blockbuster. We know what
I
that
miss
is.
those. Oh my gosh, I miss those. But I got casted on that, and it was super cool. It was more the filming style, the more the master shot, stuff that you kind of want to do, whatever. And the director was also the writer, and I did something you're never supposed to do. I went to the audition and I altered some of the lines, and I kind of improvised and did something. And I'm surprised I got called back, because you're not supposed to do that without permission or anything like that, But the director loved it. And now he didn't use it in the movie, but he loved it. And so it came down to me and one other guy, and we were reading with the leading lady. She's a B movie scream queen. She's amazing. Tiffany Shepis is her name. Just amazing horror actress. And they knew the guy, all of them, producers, directors, they knew this guy. They were all, hey man, what's going on? Everything. I'm just sitting there like, yeah, I'm screwed on this one. I'm gonna have to do like 50,000% better than this guy does or whatever. Went in there, did it, bingo. They chose me. Actually, she was the one that chose me over him. They gave her the ultimate, decision on that, and they're like, all right, cool, got that. So it was cool. It was awesome. Did film that. Did a guest starring spot on a sitcom, and then of course, I was done with the whole LA thing, and got out. But that was really cool right there. And then come to find out a few years later, watching some Keanu Reeves, Forrest Whitaker movie, Street Kings, I believe it was. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at this house. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the same house that we shot out outside of downtown LA. That's the same house we shot at. It's like, dude, that's rad. Right on. All right, cool. So yeah, it was awesome.
I would say outside of the movies that like the movie I produced, because that would probably be my favorite, because I got a chance to be all, that was very, very stressful though too. I had some fun projects. I had some very fun, like Heart of Dixie was a lot of fun to do. Moesha was a lot of fun to do. I really like comedy. So to be able to make people laugh, it's just fun. So I would say Heart of Dixie, Moesha, and Danger Force. Those are probably three of my favorite. What about you, Kat?
I really enjoyed theater. Before I did Power Rangers, I did a lot of theater, and I really loved being on stage. The thought of it now actually terrifies me, because it's been such a long time, but I just loved, especially Shakespeare. I actually had the chance when we finished the show, I did Hamlet with Paul Schreier and Jason Narvi. They produced
cool.
Hamlet, and I got to do a play Ophelia, so that was really fun. And then, doing The Cell, I think that was, other than doing commercials and stuff, that was like my first big SAG role. And so just being on a movie of that budget and that caliber, with actors that were so well renowned and everything, it was just such a different experience from Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Awesome.
They just treated me so well. And it was just a really amazing, the whole thing was just a really amazing experience. So
no, that's super cool.
Yeah.
No, let me, if you don't mind me asking, was Power Rangers y'all's first gig you ever got, or had y'all been credited with anything beforehand?
I had done stuff in Australia, but it was my first series regular role.
Gotcha.
And first like big thing. I'd done a lot of stuff in Australia and modeling and things,
cool.
But not anything like this. It was my first big job.
Oh yeah.
The same. I was doing like music videos. I had done an independent feature when I was in college as well. But this was my first series regular role.
That's awesome. Yeah.
After Power Rangers, I became SAG. So I got to see the difference.
Yeah.
They had
1 week of doing the sitcom was like 3 episodes of Power Rangers.
Oh God, jeez, that goes to show how many hours y'all put in. God, no, they had to Taft Hartley me.
Okay.
and which I didn't know what it meant at the time, but as many people they auditioned, which is crazy because I did not fathom this at all. So when we got done shooting, a few of us we went to Jamaica for a week and everything, and one of the head writers, I don't know if I don't think he was in y'all season, but Amit, he went with us, and him and I were rooming, and we're sitting on the balcony, one night sitting there looking, whatever, and he tells me about how, yeah, they wanted to fire you, but they were too far in the season. I was going back to, where, I was doing what they didn't want. And then, whenever I went up to the office, I was like, oh, right, here we go. We're about to get fired. And then they gave me the action figure or whatever. But he told me all that. I didn't know that. But he said, you beat out almost 1,000 people for that role. I said, what? He's like, no. And now 1,000 people didn't go in that room. People sent in stuff. But not every audition made it to the higher ends. It, just kind of, we don't know how that process goes. And I said, what? He's like, yeah, man. That was pretty serious, dude. I was like, dang, dude. I was like, wow, right on. All right, cool.
Yeah, and if you think about it, there's like it's like a very small amount of us that can actually say that we are Power Rangers. 100 of us or whatever it's been. It's pretty cool to be part of that club.
Yes, agreed.
What also awesome, ladies, is that even like I'll go back home and see some friends that run restaurants or something like that, and they're like, oh my gosh, you have an 8x10 we can put up here in the restaurant, sign or whatever stuff. You do all that, and it's a universal. The one thing I really appreciate about this whole thing is, and I'm not going to say all of us, I would say the majority of us. For me, it's like a sorority fraternity. It's a family. When we all see each other. Hey, how are you? I enjoy meeting or going to cons and meeting somebody from another season. Hey man, what season were you in? This, how was your experience? It's just always so fun to do, doing that. As many as we do now on all the big ones, a lot of us have pretty much met each other already, but sometimes you get some of the ones that have not been, that rarely go to cons, and you see them. Hey, what's going on? How are you? And it's just, that's just amazing right there. So, hey, you're going to go to this convention with this. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I've met that person. Which season? Sweet, awesome, man! I can't wait to meet them. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So, it's a very special thing that we've done. Yeah, it's very special, and
family. Huge family.
Yeah, family. Yeah, absolutely. It's great. It's amazing. So, yeah, I never would have thought this many years afterwards that we'd be still doing all this. I mean, it's just, that's how crazy the Power Rangers universe, Ninja Turtles, and all that kind of stuff. That's how big it is, and it still keeps going strong and everything like that. So, I just feel very blessed and getting to know all of you, and it's just amazing. It's awesome. So yeah.
Thank you, Philip. This is from Alexander. Hi, Philip. Did Bandai give you the toy of your character for free, or did you have to buy it?
No, free. They give that free. My parents still have it in their house. They have it hung up in their house, but they said, hey, this is for you. There you go. Now, whether they took it out of my paycheck, I have no idea. I didn't look at it. I was like, hey, man, this is awesome. Cash it. There you go. But no, they never said, oh, yeah, this is for you. By the way, here's we need $40 or whatever. No, they gave that to me for free. So that was really cool.
Okay, good. I was trying to see if I missed them because we've had several come in. So we're just going to go through these real quick because they've all come in at one time, if that's okay. All right.
Dawn.
Hi, Philip. If you had the opportunity to play another Ranger from any season other than your own, which one would it be? See you all in a couple of weeks.
Again, that's a tough one because again, I didn't really watch any other seasons of Power Rangers. Again, I just went in there, filmed it. Even then, when I was filming it, yes, I got the action figure. just still did not understand the whole world of it until, years later. But, I mean, I could go in there and say, I'm going to go with the original Tommy Oliver. I can say, hey, I'm going to do that because that's, Jesus right there. Or, go something. I would probably, but what I would probably say is, oh man, I might go with Ninja Storm, Adam, and gosh, I cannot pronounce Adam's last name. Starts with a T.
Timinian?
Yeah, there you go. To me, yeah. Adam's awesome. Yeah, I get so much Sixth Ranger right there, but because we never got to film with him or anything like that for the crossover, maybe
He's
that.
a great guy.
Yeah, Adam's cool. Yeah, we were in Vegas a couple months ago, man. Yeah, he's awesome, dude. Adam's super cool. Let's see.
You only have to choose one. You only have
But
to choose. You
Just one. That's all right.
Yeah. That'd probably be mine right there. And actually, we got asked that on the panel there. We got that, and I just said, looked over at Jorge and Adam. I'm like, another episode would be Ninja Storm, and everyone, oh man, I'm like, yeah, what's up, dudes? Yeah.
All right, Marcos.
What's up?
Hi. Do you want to read this one?
Salute from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Nakia, Kat, and Phil. I hope to see you all someday in Brazil, the Brazilian Paramorphicon or CCXP, Brazilian Comic Con. We would love to come.
Yes.
Love to.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That would be amazing, actually.
I'll be in Peru in September, so hop on down from Brazil to Peru. It might be a little bit of a flight, but come on down.
All right, Ryan Van Story. For all three, if you got to come back for another Power Rangers series, what's something you'd love to see for your character that didn't happen in your original seasons?
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
This is for all of us, correct?
Yes. Go on. You
Okay.
say, yeah.
Oh, man. I would say even more of a darker character, like more of a more of a darker character, wolf character. Maybe somebody who's just kind of one of the ones which it kind of was mine, where the Rangers didn't really trust me until kind of more towards the end. But the one where they don't even know who I am. Maybe I come in there and help them, or maybe I come in there and I'm against them. But it's that wolf, that lone wolf, more of a mysterious, darker character to mine, which it was, but even more maybe sinister or something. I don't know. Horrible or something. I don't know.
I've said this, I've been asked this question before, but I think I would like to have returned to being evil. I thought that would have been fun if I got to do that again. The spell came back or something like that.
Playing the bad person's always fun,
It was fun. It was fun to torment the Power Rangers. And then to work with Rita and Zed. That was really fun too. So
I think I would have liked them to explore Tanya and Adam's relationship more, because they really hint. Well, I was able to do that when I got to tell my own story in Power, in the comics, Boom Comics. I got to write where Tanya is, who she ends up with. So I got to answer the questions that everybody had been asking. But it would have been really nice. I felt like in Zeo, Tanya had a lot more storylines than she did in Turbo. So I would have liked them to be able to explore that relationship a little bit more. I think that would have been really cool. Yeah.
What would have been really awesome though is like maybe halfway through the season they would have came to all of us and said, no, we can't alter it too much. Just give us one small thing we might be able to write in for your character, what we just answered right there. Obviously, changing the foundation of the whole script. No, but if they would have came to us and said, just, one simple, maybe small thing right here, that would have been really cool,
Well, in Zeo, in our season of Zeo, the writers did talked to us a lot more about what our
Wow, okay.
skills were. Like, Nakia was a singer and I was a ballerina, and they tried to incorporate that into the season more, and they really kind of talked about things we liked and got to know our personalities. So they definitely added that into the show. But Turbo, they didn't
That's
really
cool.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right on. Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had good writers.
Mhm. This is a good question. Alexander says, was Haim Saban still in charge of Wild Force?
From what I know, yes. I know it was the whole transaction went through our season, so they knew of it. Now I know they did change. They went from Fox to ABC. They changed it at some point in the season. But I'm guessing it's one of those ones where, all right, I'm going to sell this company, but it's going to be a transaction thing. Like I'm gonna kind of guide you through the rest of the season before while you taking over, just making that easy transaction. But as far as knowing whether um they just Disney came in there and took over, I don't remember that happening. I still remember it being Saban and everybody saying, hey, finish out the season, look for jobs elsewhere, something like that. But I do not recall anything about Saban being completely out in the middle of the season or whatever that transaction was. I don't recall that. I just remember the whole the ABC to Fox morning switch over or something like that. I'm just guessing it went with that. Hey, it was going to be easy transition for the rest. You're going to work with us. We work with you, and let's just finish the season off, and then we take over right there. So that's my guess of what happened.
Okay, that's fair.
No.
All right. Point Mage, tournament organizer for Gaia's Cradle. Phillip, thank you so much for being so cool at Rhode Island Comic Con. You signed of the grid card, and I'm painting your miniature now.
Oh, right on. Very cool. Yes. Rhode Island was a blast. That was the most insane thing I've ever experienced. It was crazy.
Oh,
I mean, I think the fire department almost shut it down on Saturday. I mean, I would get out of my booth, and I'm sitting there walking like this, trying to get over to the place where either we're going out to the back to go to the elevator up to the green room and all that stuff, but to see all these people, like all these movies you've seen, like Back to the Future cast was there. The Reno 911 guys were completely dressed up in all their complete outfits and everything.
Yeah, they're funny. They're a lot of fun.
So hilarious.
That's funny that they actually still wear those suits, because they were at Indiana Comic Con too in their those tight. I was like, you guys are hilarious.
Well, so the hotel we were staying at, it's kind of like right around the corner from Convention Center. I'm not going to name the A-list celebrity, but this celebrity was just lights out, hammered off his mind like the whole weekend down at the restaurant bar or whatever. And I think I think it was that Saturday night. I think the hotel staff actually had to help him up to his room. I mean, he was so done or whatever. So the next morning we get in the elevator and we're going down, stops, opens it up. There's the Reno 911 guys. He got all dressed up. Was it Lieutenant Dangle with the Daisy Dukes and the white boots?
Yeah.
And then the other dude, taller black guy with the shades.
Name, but yes.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the show in forever, but they were so super cool, and they're just in full outfits. I'm just like, good God, guys! And then so as the elevator's going down, it just comes up about that actor, and I'm like, are you, dude? He was hammered Friday night down there. Like, oh my, like, oh geez. Lo and behold, door opens, there he is, sunglasses on, feet propped up on another. I'm like, buddy, how we feeling today? Man, I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's do this. All right. I'm like, good God, man. But Rhode Island was just, it was fun. Just seeing that. It was just, I mean, straight up nostalgia. I mean, as you're going to the elevator. Hey, there's Punky Brewster. There's Helen Hunt right here. I mean, what's going on here? You know, I mean, it was really cool. It was super cool. It was Rhode Island, yeah.
Rhode Island is fun. We haven't
Yeah.
been there for a while. We'll be there next year. But okay, Janine Higuchi. Wild Force is one of my favorite seasons. What do you think Merrick did after his time with the Rangers ended? Also, JDF's flute sounded like a trumpet.
Like drum instead of the flute. That's awesome. Well, I mean, I could tell you what I think he might do, but if I mean, we're kind of writing a rough draft right now, again to submit it, but I'll make it short and sweet. Merritt goes to the dark side, joins the Naku, and things go haywire. How about that? That's all I can share.
Ryan Van Story for Nakia. Life in the dream house was iconic! Exclamation mark. Where would Nikki from Barbie be today? Would she still be in Barbie land, or would she come to the real world like Margot Robbie's Barbie?
Ooh. I like how they made how Nikki was the president in Barbie world. So I think she would stay in Barbie world so that she can rule things. How about that?
She liked to be in charge.
She likes to be in charge.
She's like, I don't want to be Barbie's sidekick.
She was her best, she's one of her best friends in Barbie's Life in the Dream House. And she reminds me of a lot of me standing up for friends and
funny character.
Yeah, a lot of fun to play.
Yeah.
A lot of fun to play. Okay.
She's always putting Raquel in her place.
Raquel.
I always love these questions, like what would your character have done or whatever. It's just so great to just, kind of, give the fans, your insight from the, the actor, actress, whatever. It's just to see their reactions, like, oh, wow, I never would have thought about that. It's just awesome when we get asked that question. I love it.
Aww. Christopher Sheenberger is one of our channel members. Super chat. Raise them up high. Philip, whom was your favorite cast member in Wild Force?
Jack Guzman. Jack and I mean, we're still really good friends to this day. Talked to him last night. Not only that, I definitely can't tell this story, but yeah, him and I got in a little bit of trouble in Jamaica. We almost got kicked out of the resort. Can't go into that, but I think it was Jessica that went in there and saved us from getting kicked out. I think she had to go and talk to the staff members and stuff. But Jack and I were just always up to no good, in a fun way. But it was awesome. Anne Marie and I, even to this day, we still have this really cool bond. Her and I, even being that, that was my love interest in the show. We would not advocating it whatsoever, but yes, we would have smoke breaks, but we would always have to find a place to hide because upstairs they want to know about it or whatever. So her and I kind of bonded on that. We would always find a place in the corner or something like that and then go do it. So when we got together for our first con, I remember we did the same thing. We went out like, is this deja vu or what? It feels like, back in the old days. It's like, yep. But I mean, everybody was great, but I'm not taking anything away from anybody. Everybody was great, but that was Jack's just Jack's a hoot. He's a hoot.
Special place in your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Love that. Well, those are all of the super chats. Samantha Robinson, thank you for your super chat. Where can people find you? Where can people find you? What are you up to? We know you're going to be at Ranger Stop and Pop next month. Anything else you want to share with the crowd?
Guys, yes, Ranger Stop and Pop in Atlanta. Guys, y'all want to see? I didn't realize it was going to be, I thought it was going to be 40 to 50, and you said 60, y'all said 65. I'm like, my gosh, this is going to be a party right here. Guys, yes, everybody, come to Ranger Stop and Pop in Atlanta, man. You want to see all of us, tons of us, come on out there. I'm sorry. I totally flaked on the question. What was that, Nakia?
Where else are you going to be, or what would you like to share before you go? You said you had a Twitch channel. What's the name of your Twitch?
Twitch. It's Lunar Wolf Den. Twitch. I do that supposed to do every Tuesday. Sometimes scheduling stuff, but we do that every Tuesday. We did start Wild Force. We watched the whole season of that. Then we went back to season 1 of Mighty Morphin, and now we're on season 2. And we're gonna watch every single season, all the way 30 seasons on Twitch for everybody. It's gonna be amazing, and answer everybody's questions on that. Phillip Andrew Official is my Instagram. I also have lunarwolf.shop, where you can buy hoodies, t-shirts. I now have Lunar Wolf coffee on there. It's really great. I have a great team on here. And then bunch of stuff on that. It also has a schedule where I was last year and every place that I'm going to this year. We got Patreon too, where I do once a month a Zoom call just like this. You can sign up on that. You can see all that right there. And then of course I have my QR codes at the tables whenever we're signing. You just scan that, all my social media comes up, and bingo, you can go from there. So yeah.
Love it. Phillip, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Ladies, thank y'all very much. I cannot wait here a couple of weeks. It's gonna be an amazing weekend. I really cannot wait. It's gonna be so fun.
Yes, we're gonna have time.
Yeah, but Nakia Cat, thanks for having me on. This is great. And again, it's going to be an amazing week in Atlanta. Everybody come to Atlanta if you can. It is going to be a very special weekend. Ranger Stop and Pop, 13th, 14th, and 15th of June next month.
Thank you. Thank you, Phillip.
All right, ladies. All right, we'll see you next month.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
God. It was so great getting the chance to meet him.
Yes. I know it's often hard, like at Morphicon and stuff. It's just everyone's in passing because there's so many people there. So it's nice to actually get to have a conversation and just hear about their season and their characters and get to know them a little bit better.
Yeah, yes. And so you have a convention this weekend. You want to tell people where you're going to be?
Yes, I'm going to be in Chantilly, Virginia at Big Lick Nova with Jason Font. It's on Saturday and Sunday. So come and see us. I think we have a Q&A. There'll be photo ops and all kinds of fun stuff. Lots of great guests. The following weekend, Nakia will be in Phoenix with Karen Ashley at Fan Fusion.
Fusion, yeah, Phoenix Fan Fusion. Yeah, I've never been, so I'm excited. We're at booth 1478, so we're going to be in the exhibitor area, sponsored guests. So come check us out. And then the following obviously is Ranger Stop and
Pop. And I'll be actually that same weekend. She's in Phoenix. I will be with Jenna Frank and Carla Perez, who played Rita Repulsa, in San Antonio, the Ingram Park Mall in San Antonio, Texas, for Retro City Comic Con. So that'll be fun. Yes.
Well, thank you guys, and thank you for all these wonderful super chats. Thanks to Phillip Andrews for being such an amazing guest, and we will see you next time on
Power Rangers Playback.
Bye.
Bye.